Altevrse Season 1 Action.
Wait. I need a countdown.
Altevrse Season 1 in 3, 2, 1 Action.
Altevrse Episode 1 Success. You get me?
You wanna hear
Nice
the song
to meet
from
you.
above?
Charles in the hat.
Hey,
this
welcome
has
to
been
the MTV Cribs. We about to go outside and I'm about to show you.
Yo, what's up? We're here with another episode of Altevrse. I'm your host, Heaven Shamba, and today we have a very special guest, Miss Shideh Kafei. How you feeling
Thank
today?
you.
Wait.
Hi,
First of all, hold on. I don't ever do this. Like, I'm gonna read it straight off this because you need like a proper intro. So Shideh is a bi-coastal hair and makeup artist based in Los Angeles. She works across fashion, music, commercial industries, creating compelling looks for a wide range of projects consisting of A$AP Rocky, Sydney Sweeney, Ravina, MTV, Nike, Target. Yo, you do this, bruh.
Thank you.
Like, you do this.
Yes.
Like, isn't that crazy that that's like you? Like, you're humble, but like you're like, it's not a joke, you know?
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
How are you feeling today?
Great. I'm feeling center and focused today. It's been a good day.
Took some deep breaths. Did a little yoga. So what's going on in your life right now? Like, what's happening? Just in general.
So much is happening. I feel like every day is different. I feel different every day. Some days I feel insane and I'm like, why am I doing this? And sometimes I'm like, wow, it's all coming together and it's all worth it. And yeah, I'm doing a lot and it feels really good.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that even at this point in your career, like, you know, you have like all the accolades to show for it. Like, you still get that feeling of like, why am I doing this, or what am I doing? You know, I think that's interesting for people to know that even at this caliber, you still feel like that. But
yeah.
What do you feel like now you have better mechanisms for like, no? Or do you feel like that feeling is still as strong as it was in the beginning?
Definitely. I believe in imposter syndrome. I think that will be around probably forever, but you do become better at dealing with it and navigating through it. Yeah.
Nice. So just, I guess just a little bit for the people. I want to know, like, where are you from? Like, where are you actually from? Where did this start?
Long-ended question. So I was born in Ecuador. My dad's from Iran. So
Immigrants. Let's get a clap for the immigrants. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Out here doing
Exactly.
it. Doing big things out here. Okay.
And then my dad's from Iran. So I'm half Iranian, half Ecuadorian.
Oh, wow.
I moved to Florida
What a
when I was
mix.
7 and grew up there. Moved to New York when I was like 20, went to makeup school there, lived there throughout my 20s, and now I've been in LA for 3 years.
Okay, nice. How are you liking it?
I love it. I feel like it's like the code to life. I cracked the code of life.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So would you say this is like your favorite place to live thus far?
Yeah, definitely. Especially to be a creative in my industry, who also loves nature and the outdoors and the balance of life. It feels really good to be here.
Yeah, New York is like concrete, huh?
Yeah, which is so fun on its own.
Yeah, but this
for
is just
me,
a different.
I was like, this is where I had to be.
What you feel called to. That's fine. So I want to know, because I feel like, were you a rebellious kid? Because like you chose to be like a hair and makeup artist, right? And I feel like the status quo, especially in an immigrant home, it's like, yo, we fought to get here, you know? So like you're gonna go to school and become this doctor, lawyer, whatever, you know, the status quo.
Yeah.
The status quo picture of success. So like why did you choose to go your own way? Like what was that about?
Yeah, I definitely kind of always paved my own path since a young age. Even in high school, I knew this is what I wanted to do. And being an immigrant, being from a small town, being one of the only people of color in my high school, it was definitely like a, yeah, right. That's like, you need to choose like a real job.
Yeah.
But I forgot the question.
Oh, like, would you say that you were rebellious? Like,
Oh,
why did
that
you
was the
choose,
beginning question.
Yeah. Like, why did you choose to go outside the status quo?
It was just kind of like engraved in me. I almost felt like I had to do something different. I've always wanted to be different. Even since I was a little kid, like I remember when I was like literally 10, I was very like tomboy at one point, and I was just like I never looked like all the other girls. And, you know, it's just like engraved in me to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in your own swag.
Yes.
Your own. So that's so interesting. So what do you feel like there were like some early moments that shaped your identity that like kind of made you into that? Or do you think this is something that was just inside of you since you were born?
I think that being an immigrant and coming from immigrant parents, there's this feeling of having to succeed in order to, you know, pay back your parents for making this huge change in their life. And your ancestors, and being like, you know, I'm doing this for you in a way.
Yeah. Wow. No, I definitely feel that. I think I feel the same way, especially like in my own experience, like also being an immigrant and having immigrant parents. I think I find myself at points where I'm like, okay, this is like tough, but then I'm like, yo, but my mom, dad went through this.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't hard, you know? Like, let me push through. Like, I have to push through.
Yeah.
So I feel like it comes with a different edge.
Yeah,
like
you want to make it worth it for them, all the struggles.
Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful. So I want to know, like, how do you get from being in Florida, you know, like humble beginnings, to being next to an A$AP Rocky or Sydney Sweeney? Like, what's the like trek there, you know? Like, what's your journey to get from point A to point B?
Well, definitely going to makeup school in New York, I think, opened doors for my career to kind of like take a fast start. And truly just hard work, especially in the beginning. I would do jobs for $0, $20 a day, you know, like just to start building that book. But not only the book, but your network and meeting people and, you know, showing them you're not just talented, but also a good person, I think goes a really far way. Yeah. Really long way. So how did I get from there to point A to point B? I would just say, like super hard work, persistence, and believing in myself. I think, especially being, like you said, like from a small town, immigrant parents, I was truly my number one fan from the start. And
you had to continuously cheer yourself on.
Continuously, like, after so many people are like, no, that's not like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I had to continue to believe in myself and my dreams and keep dreaming bigger.
Yeah. And what about your parents? What did they think about your decision to go on this path?
They definitely thought it would be like a side job. They were like, yeah, that's for fun, though. And not until like I started doing big names. Like, I feel like when, I don't know what a big name first job was, but maybe Calvin Klein. I was like, you know, Dad, like Calvin Klein, you're like wearing their underwear, right? Yeah. And he was like, what? Like, I feel like once the big names started coming around and once I stopped having to do all my side jobs and made
Like,
this
that
my
was it.
full,
Wow.
paying for all my bills and being able to support myself off of this creative career. They were
Wow.
like, oh,
Wow.
we get it now. But
Thank you.
they've definitely always supported me in a way. They just didn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to make them understand.
Yeah, to
Through that
show them. I'd be like,
persistence,
check this out.
Through that
What about
grind,
this?
through that, yeah. Wow. So do you think there was like a turning point? Like, do you feel like you had a specific turning point? Like a moment that you can look at and be like, this is where everything changed? Or do you feel like it's been like a gradual process over time?
In terms of my career, I think the big turning point, and like I said, like first I went to makeup school, and while I was in makeup school, one of my first celebrities was Kali Uchis. And once I did Kali Uchis, I think that was like a huge turning point, and people were like, oh, what? She's a makeup artist. She does Kali Uchis, like da da da. And that opened up so many doors for me. And it made me realize, like, from that one job,
Wow. That's crazy.
so many other connections have come through it. And it's cool to just look at each job and be like, I got this job because of this person, because I met them at this place, and then I met them at that. And like making those connections is always really interesting.
Yeah.
But I think Kali Uchis definitely is one that opened up a lot of doors for me.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's interesting that you're saying that about how one thing connects to the next,
All connected.
Because even like you sitting right here, which is so cool to me, because I met you at a Nike event. I mean, not Nike. Was it
It was
Nike?
like a fashion week. Oh yeah, it was Nike.
It was
yeah,
Nike.
it
Yeah,
was.
it was like a
actually.
Nike whatever fashion week
Fashion
party.
week. Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about you. You know, we were just two people interacting.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how even like how I got in there was just so insane. Like I didn't even know that was going on.
Me neither.
And just life just brought us to that place.
Yeah.
And I was able to learn about you and hear your story. And like over time, as I developed this idea, I was like, yo, this person like does this thing for real. You know, she would be, I would love to hear her perspective. So yeah, it's so cool how, but I feel like you have to listen though.
You have
know?
to listen, and you have to be present.
Yeah.
Because if we're only ever chasing, you don't notice where you're at in the moment.
Exactly.
And if I, even like how we met at that party, it's like
Yeah.
if we were only like looking around and like looking to see who's there, or looking to see like, who made it out, like whatever, we probably wouldn't even have
You
had a
miss what's
chance
right in front
to
of
chat.
you.
Yeah. And I feel like that goes to say too for career stuff. It's like, if you're constantly only like looking for your next big thing or in the next big job, it's like, and you're not just focusing on what you have now and putting your all into like today, what's actually the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Also, wait, before I ask my next question, Mix, can we get the reverb down just a little bit?
Feel the echo.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in space. I feel like I'm there.
You feel like a Katy
Wait,
Perry?
did you see that?
Katy Perry? Oh.
I'm like looking at this. I'm like, But, okay, so, because you were talking about your career, right? And I think something that separates you, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to say this. Something that separates you is that, and this is so crazy because it's like not a lot of people can do this. You're not just an artist. You're not just a creative. You're an enterprise. Like you're a business owner.
Yeah.
You know, like this is not a joke. Like you have a proper business model set up. I think it's called, you said Godmother, right? Godmom. Okay, so a lot of artists, I feel like they get so caught in their artistic, that they forget about the other side, that side to sustain their life. So how are you, first of all, I commend you because I think it's so impressive, but how are you able to balance that line between I'm an artist, but I'm also a businesswoman, and my artistry is just important as my business?
Damn, good question. I go back and forth in my head all the time. I'm like, I think society makes you think you can only be one.
Yeah.
Of anything. I think society makes you think you can only be a doctor, or you can only be a lawyer or an artist. Like you got to choose one thing. But I've always believed against that because I've always had this business. I have a business background. I went to school for marketing. I first started my life and career after school in real estate. And
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And then I became an artist, and it's like, who's to negate one or the other, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I highly believe you can put what your mind, could put your mind, what's the saying?
Yeah, you can do whatever you put your mind to.
You can do whatever you put your mind to. And if you want to be an artist and an entrepreneur, and they actually mesh so well together. Yeah.
So what's some advice you would give to somebody that's a creative mind that wants to step into the lane of business in conjunction with their artistry?
Well, as an artist, a big part of it is you're selling your brand, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of comes along with you being able to sell your brand, sell yourself, sell your art. You have to be business minded as well. Unless you have others that are, you know, like representing you and doing all that side for you. But even yet, so it's a lot of it falls back on you. How you speak to people, how you connect with people. That's all business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you were telling me that you said that you have a degree in business marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think a lot of artists kind of neglect the education side of things. How do you think being educated has helped you in your artistry, or do you feel like it hasn't helped you? Like, do you feel like that's something that you needed to do, or do you think you would be where you are right now without that education?
That's such a hard question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so tough. Okay. I think that in terms of education, you can educate yourself in a way. There's so many resources that we have now that we're able to learn so much from, whether it's business or whatever you really want to learn. I do think that my education has a huge impact on my career. My business background, my business school, my real estate background has been able to help me market myself as an artist, and it's been super impactful.
Yeah. No, I just think that it's important to say that. And I even talked about it with my last guest. But I think because even like me right now, I'm back in that journey of exploring, you know, like proper learning. And I realized that I have been conditioned this narrative that I feel like going to school is almost like giving up on my artistry.
Oh my God,
you know,
no.
It's like, I've been conditioned to believe that this is like, you failed, so now you're doing a plan B, you know? But in my head, I see it as I'm just becoming more complete human being overall. Because I think what you get out of educating yourself, and this can go outside of school, you know, but this can even be self-education.
Yeah.
But I think you just learn how to operate as a more full human being versus like the things that you're learning in these books or like the marketing lessons, but you're learning time management. You're learning how to interact with others.
Time managing is huge.
Yeah, you're learning how to do things that you don't want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's...
And managing stress.
Yeah. And I feel like these are all very important things that a person should have beyond artistry, just to be a well-rounded, functioning human being in society.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that it's so important for us to fill up our toolbox with different things.
Yeah, fill up your toolbox.
I like that. Toolbox, and you're going to be able to use it at different stages in your life.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be times that you're going to need to like negotiate your rent,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you just have that knowledge on how to do that.
Wow. For some reason, whenever you said fill up your toolbox, like a picture in my head, man, I wish I could see him. I pictured Mix, but he was animated though, right? Like he was a cartoon. And there was just a toolbox right there, and he had overalls on. Just in black letters, it said, fill up your toolbox. We're going to chat GPT that, and we're going to put that in the video. It's going to be right there.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Anyways. Oh, my goodness. I'm about to, like, really switch topics because that was so, like, lighthearted. But to get, like, to the meat of things. So yesterday, you sent me a very beautiful voice message, just like about yourself. And something that stood out to me is you said in 2020 you had a near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that in many ways being so close to death showed you how to fully live.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was very beautiful.
That is
and
beautiful.
I just wanted
I said
to,
that?
yeah, you said like it was like 3 a.m. But I was like, wow, like that sentence inspired me.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to open the floor to you to share whatever it is that you want to share about that experience.
Yes. So you asked me what makes my path unique.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing that came to mind is that, I had a near-death experience in 2020, right before COVID. And in a way, I think that that's allowed me to fully take risks and not be afraid to make my own path.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I said that's allowed me to live. What did I say?
Yeah. You said being so close to death is what allowed you to truly
live.
To truly live, exactly.
That's so cute. Yeah, I have Crohn's disease. Thankfully, right now I'm on remission. But I was really struggling with it while I was living in New York for about 6 years, and it brought me close to dying. And when that happened, that's it's just a wild way of how God Mom really started, because that's when I was like, well, I was having the worst flare-ups that I physically couldn't walk. So my entrepreneurial mind came on, and I was like, I need to figure something out because I can't be on set and I still gotta survive. So that's when I started booking people out and booking hair and makeup artists out to go to jobs for me. And yeah, basically my near-death experience really pushed me to be an entrepreneur. And not be afraid of taking those chances and taking those risks and truly believing in myself, and taking a path that hasn't really been taken before, per se, like as an artist starting an agency, as a hair and makeup artist starting an agency, it's not really like heard of.
Yeah.
But in general, almost dying so young isn't heard of either. You know what I mean? So it's like my whole life kind of really shifted, but in hindsight, it was a really beautiful outcome.
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That being at your absolute lowest showed you the next step in order to achieve your highest, essentially. I thought that was like crazy. and I was reading a book yesterday. Actually, I was scrolling on TikTok, and it was a quote from a book called As a Man Thinketh, right? And the quote said that you don't attract what you want. You don't always attract, or man doesn't attract what he wants. Man, as a human, he attracts what he is or who he is. And I was kind of thinking about that quote in relation to what you said, because I'm like, you probably had this vision of being like this on-set artist, but like you were always more than that.
Yeah.
And it took, I guess, life giving you this experience to show you that, like actually step into your full potential, like become this boss, become this entrepreneur. You got this business background, you got this, like, let's create something with this, So that was really touching to me. I thought that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's fine, yeah. And I'm glad to see you like living, you know what I'm saying? Like living.
I'm living.
In yourself,
I'm fully living. I'm like in remission, feeling the best I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
Health-wise, mental-wise, career-wise, like I think that it's all paying off right now, and it's a really awesome feeling.
Yeah. So how are you these days? Like, how do you measure success? Like, do you feel like that's something that's changed to you over time?
Yeah, I think back in the day, it would be like success is like how much money I'm making, how many jobs I'm booking. Now it's really more about how much peace do I feel within myself. I think that's the true measure of success, is because I don't want to say happiness, because I think saying like how happy you are is how successful you are or whatever. But I think happiness is not actually being happy every single day is not attainable.
Yeah.
And you're just going to put yourself down if you just want to be happy, because there's going to be those up and downs always. So I more so say peace, being at peace is success.
Do you have like a mantra? You give me, I feel like you have like a mantra.
Duh.
See, hey, you give me like, I have a mantra vibe.
I do. I heard this saying once. It was, keep your expectations low, but your standards high. So it's like, you don't expect things from people.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to expect your partner to cook you dinner or something, but you're going to have the standard of like being surrounded by really good people to begin with.
Yeah.
And then when they do something beautiful, it's that much more better.
Yeah.
Because you weren't expecting it. But if you were expecting that and they don't do it, then you're disappointed.
You're letting yourself down. Yeah. Fire. So what's something that you would say to like a young Latina girl in Florida, and she's like a little creative, a little business savvy? Like what's a piece of advice you would give her? Or I guess even if you could tell yourself something that you've like learned at this point, what would you say to yourself?
I would say keep dreaming, keep going. And believing in yourself is what's going to get you the farthest.
That's beautiful. Fire. Right? So, okay. Wait, before we get into our last segment, though, I actually want to ask. So, your agency is called Godmom, right? And there's not really, I don't think I know any artists that like run their own agency. So I feel like you're kind of like in your own world there.
I don't either.
Yeah. Is that scary?
It's so scary. Every day I'm like, who do I think I am?
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah.
And then I see the payback and I'm like, oh shit.
That's who I am.
Yeah. I'm like, oh. I'm really doing that.
Yeah. I do this. No, that's amazing.
With a lot of help, but
yeah. Of course. Teamwork. We need that. You know what I'm saying? You see the.
The crew.
So I wanted to, I have this section, right? And it's our final segment, and it's called Rapid Fire. And basically, I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and you're just going to answer them straight up, like off the top of your head. No thinking, just like the first answer that comes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I don't know. Let me drink some water.
Wait, Mix, can I get a sound effect before I go into this?
I feel like you like sent me your questions, and there's like 2 out of those questions.
That was for my own understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, who is this person?
For you.
Exactly.
God, I was like rehearsing my lines. Didn't even
no,
ask
exactly.
me.
That's why I do that. Everyone does that. Everyone, the last guest was rehearsing over there.
Oh my God.
I'm like, bro, I'm not even gonna ask you that. But you know what?
Surprise.
Okay, rapid fire, right? Okay, so let me know. What's something non-artistic that influences your art?
Nature.
Nature? Okay, yeah.
Birds,
nice.
plants, flowers.
Yeah. Cool.
The ocean.
Okay, are you a early bird or are you a midnight thinker?
Early bird. Today I woke up at 7 and I feel so good.
You're a morning person?
Yeah. I'm trying to be an early workout person.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
goals.
That's wow. I'm like, I don't know why I get ideas at like 2 a.m. No matter what time I have to wake up the next day, like. No matter what time I have to wake up, if I can sleep in though, I'm gonna sleep in. But yeah, 2 a.m. that's like my hour. Okay. What's something you'll never pretend to like? Like no matter how cool it is, like no matter how much everyone loves it, like you're like, no. And I'm standing on this.
Cancel culture.
That's a good answer. I like that. Yeah. Okay. If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where are you going?
Ecuador, my grandma.
Abuelita. Shout out, abuelita.
And then, what is the last thing that you Googled? Besides this.
True. I googled what is the best time to post in LA.
What did it say?
Between 11 to 1 and between 7 to 9.
11 to 1 a.m.
11
11 to 1 p.m. I feel like that's
and
a bit
7 to 9. Because I thought it was like 5 when people are off work, but that's New York. Here, because you're in the train. Here, you're driving. You better get who else started. That's sold.
5 would be a bad time to post. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had an alter ego, explain their vibe.
An alter ego. Explain what an alter ego is again.
Like it's like, so you're you right now, right? Like let's say like this glass, right? His alter ego could be like, I want to be a sofa. So like this is like my alter ego. Like this is outside of me. This is like my, you know.
Oh, a flight attendant.
A flight attendant? That would be your alter ego?
That's sexy flight attendant.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
On a private jet.
Okay, that nice. You leveled it. You had to level it up. But I was a little, yeah, I was getting like triggered for a second. What would their vibe be though? Like sexy?
Yeah, like you're wearing like, you know, like the old school, like cute old skirts and like your hair is done and it's like a private jet with
But
leather
this,
couches.
this is like aesthetic. Like what's their
the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like bitchy. I'm kind of like, no, I'm not gonna give you another martini. You're drunk. No.
I can see that on a movie. That was good. That was good. Maybe you need to go up in front of the camera. But okay.
I am.
There you are right now, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you could time travel, are you going to the past or to the future?
To the past.
To the past? Why? Why would you go to the past?
Why would I live in the future?
You don't need.
You gotta be present. Can I choose present?
No.
Now.
So you're going to the past. Where? Like to what time?
I would do like New York in the 70s, 80s.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Right?
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah. Like when like those like clubs were like up to like 5 a.m.
But you would need a map though, like a real map.
I would love to use a map. I feel like it would make my brain work more.
You should use a map tomorrow.
My friends are getting off like smartphones and they say that the hardest part is like reading the map.
Oh, they're getting like flip phones type beat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the hardest thing is getting around. They absolutely print out like MapQuest.
Wow.
Well, not MapQuest.
Yeah, Google Maps. I'm sure it's like something liberating about that.
Yeah, one day.
Something. One day.
One day when I'm not a business person, but a lot of them are business people.
You know, Ed Sheeran doesn't have like a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so, you know. But okay,
Yeah.
describe your vibe using the weather.
My vibe using the weather. It's a sunny day in the morning. And then in the afternoon, you get a little trickle of rain here and there. But it goes away quickly and the sun comes back out for a beautiful sunset.
Nice. Nice. You're being kind.
72 degrees.
Okay. A little, okay. So Miami, you know? Yeah.
Am I Florida girl?
Yeah. But Florida comes with some hurricanes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're fun.
but there's some hurricanes. Yeah. Okay.
Hurricane parties.
So are you a planner or like in the moment type of person?
I think like inner me wants to be in the moment and I'm super spontaneous, but business me, I have to plan. My Google Calendar goes crazy.
It's filled up. So like you just like personalize your like, let's do this. But when it's business, it's like scary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like God.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
God, mom.
Yeah, like turn it on. Okay, nice. Nice. And then so we have a question from our last guest
No,
for you, right? And he said, is there anything in this moment that can take you away from your drive? And it can be yes or no. And if there is, what is it?
Is there anything in this moment that will take away from my drive?
Yeah.
Oh, like family passed me? That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like like your family being hurt. I think I would like stop anything I'm doing and go be with them.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And then so we do a thing where you
Yes.
you ask the next question. which is about to jump into the next season, which is crazy. Okay.
Ooh, okay. No. If you had to be an animal in your next life, what would it be?
That's a good question. Nice. And there you have it. There you have it, my people. If you had to be an animal. So we got Shideh Kafei, final episode of Altevrse season 1. Thank you so much for coming on
Thanks, Heather.
and sharing your perspective. That was beautiful.
You wanna hear the sounds from above?